Welcome back to the channel. Gabe and Romp here to break down The Last of Us Episode 3. Let's cut straight to the problem that most people have, which is Nick Offerman basically playing the exact same character, Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec, having a gay Romeo and Juliet relationship scene that lasts 2/3 of the entire episode. And there's so many problems with it. I first want to start with saying it being a gay relationship isn't the problem. There's so many other problems. I honestly think that if this was a straight couple, I would have hated the episode just as much.
I totally agree. It was just hard for me to get into the whole Bill and the other guy's story. All I was thinking about the whole episode, I'm not even kidding. I was like, can we just get back to Ellie and Joel, please? Can we get back to Ellie and Joel? Now, I haven't played the game. I remember watching a YouTube series back in the day, but my memory's foggy. But after the episode, I looked into some reviews, and supposedly in the video game, how Joel met Bill was he was caught in one of his traps. He was like upside down. He had to fight off zombies. And it sounded way better than how they introduced Bill in this series. And I feel like if they just took their time and allowed Bill to interact with Ellie and Joel, I would have, grown a fan of him and or just grown to like him more or whatever. And then they could have told that story quicker in like flashbacks and another episode. And I think it would have hit home for me a little better. But to just tell a story for basically the whole episode of two characters I don't care about, I don't have a relationship with. Like, it was a nice, soap opera story or whatever. But I did not enjoy it because I just didn't care about Bill. I don't know how you feel.
That's a great point. I noticed it the second time as I'm watching Ron Swanson, we'll call him, Bill, crushing up the pills. It's like I had no emotion for Frank about to drink the pills. The first time it kind of hit me, I was like, oh, this is sad. Second time, I'm like, who are these guys? I don't know them. I mean, if it weren't for Nick Offerman being so famous, I would have had absolutely zero relationship to these people. No, it just didn't matter. You don't care about them yet. And the way that they met was just completely weird. And the relationship, I felt, moved too fast. I'd like to point out the odds of a handsome, age-appropriate gay man with a perfectly manicured salt and pepper beard and an obvious wig that he would just harmlessly fall into one of his traps and suffer only an arm bruise. Like, you have a better chance of winning the lottery twice. And so my issue with the gay relationship has nothing to do with them being gay. It just moved too fast. It felt like in the span of 3 hours maximum, you go from Bill having a gun on him, not trusting him. I mean, you pointed it out. This is a guy who's cordoned off an entire city to himself, a true survivalist. And he's just going to, in the span of a couple hours, go from having a gun on this guy to, oh, you're hungry? Oh, you kind of made me laugh. You're kind of funny. Come on in, sir. Sit down and eat this 5-course meal. I've got more back there if you'd like it. No? You want to play the piano? Well, let me show you me playing the piano. Oh my gosh, we're kissing. Oh, I should go take a shower because we're going to bang? That is just way too quick. I don't care if it's a straight relationship or a gay relationship. I just feel like everything moved so fast. It was too convenient. It felt like lazy writing. They couldn't have like any other interactions before it went to make out. Like, why does Bill trust Frank so quickly? It felt like they had Bill as this kind of incel who's never been touched and was just easily swept away by Frank's charisma. And the part I really did not understand is the manipulation, the clear manipulation when Frank tells Bill, I don't normally do this. I'm not a whore. So, like, now that I've got you all swollen up downstairs, let me drop this on you. I'm going to stay a few days after this. Is that okay? Like, what's Bill gonna say? No, now that I'm all boned up, I'm not gonna let you stay? Like, that's not a normal way to start a relationship. And it just felt weird. And then bang, it's 3 years in the future and you're watching their love drama. And I'm thinking, what the hell am I watching?
Personally, I feel like you're a bit homophobic for this opinion. And I'm shaking because of your just no. But in all seriousness, it felt like that episode from Lost, like we were talking about earlier, where they were going over that couple randomly in season 6. They just gave us the backstory of that couple who we have not heard of, throughout the entire series. But the thing is, that was in a later season. This is episode 3 of the first season of Last of Us, and I don't even like Ellie. I remember loving Ellie. When I watched that YouTube series, but the way she's acting, it's just not the same Ellie that I remember. I don't know if it's the actor's fault or the writers are giving her crap. And I feel like Joel is also different and is kind of a pussy. I feel like he's written like a pussy, to be quite honest with you. That's my problem. We wasted a whole episode going over Bill and Frank's love affair, and I still, as an audience, don't really have a connection with the two main characters who are pivotal in this show. That's my main issue. I don't care about the gay stuff or whatever. I just want to, start to really form a connection more with Joel and Ellie, because it was really going to be their first episode alone together because Tess went away the last episode and died. So, I was excited, but then they just turned it to the Bill and Frank love story. I'm like, what am I watching? Give me Ellie and Joel, please.
To your point about Joel being written pretty soft and stupid and inconsistent. In the first episode, you see him leave behind a family on the side of the road heartlessly, like Shane in the first season of The Walking Dead. So you see this dude Joel understands how to survive. Right from Jump Street, right as it happens, he's already making the tough decisions that other people usually are not going to be ready to make that early in a collapse of society. But then you fast forward like 20 years, and now he thinks it's not a good idea. There's no reason to bring this machine gun because, there's probably not bullets out there. There's probably not enough bullets, so let's just leave it behind. And Ellie is like, well, are you sure? Can we not just take it with us? No, it's worthless. It felt like another unnecessary woke pushing of an anti-gun message, whether that's right or whether it's wrong. It's just feeling like politics being inserted unnecessarily, making it seem like guns aren't important. Meanwhile, anytime something is about to go down or he gets nervous, what does he do? Reaches for his gun. And I'm telling you, if he gets run up on protecting this little girl by some people, living people with bad intentions, having a little girl holding a machine gun that she can't hurt herself with, but they don't know that. They don't know that this 14-year-old girl holding the gun doesn't have an itchy trigger finger. It would give him an advantage out in the world if things go down to scare away potential threats, raiders, if you want to call them. And it would really make more sense and be less sticking out like a sore thumb if there were some zombies around. There was one zombie that was completely helpless, in so much that Ellie's able to perform a mini surgery on his forehead and then stab him in the head. There's no danger to the entire episode. There's no danger to Bill and Frank's episode. Why couldn't they have gotten attacked by zombies and that's how they died together? One of them could have saved the other one being attacked. Anything. Give me some zombies, please. This is what The Walking Dead did in the later seasons that killed the show. They stopped being about the zombies and more about the soap opera. And don't get me wrong, I can enjoy some soap opera. I didn't completely hate the Bill and Frank story. I didn't completely hate it. I felt like a lot of it was rushed, but it wasn't all bad. And to me, it led to a couple of explanation points as far as showing you where the music code was coming from, and it gives a new explanation to where Ellie and Joel are going to get all their guns and toilet paper and deodorant and all that sort of stuff. So they didn't do nothing to put it together to make the stories match up a little bit. And it was nice to see that I guess Joel and Tess were already friends with them and they have that history. So it wasn't a completely different story. But I think if you had taken us away from the Joel and Ellie story and taken us to some type of cyberpunked futuristic world and then brought us back, it would have been no different. It was like going to a completely different genre of entertainment for an entire 40 minutes or more, and then whoop, now we're back to a zombie show.
Well, that pretty much wraps this up. You found out we are homophobic in this review of episode 3. Any last words, Gabe? Because you are canceled.
Please don't cancel us before we get started.
Leave a like and subscribe.